Welcome folks to KubeCon. My name is Manu Batru. I'm the product manager for Anthos Storage.
My name is Jing. So I'm Kubernetes storage lifecycle team at Google.
Our session at KubeCon was about when you're coming from a virtual world, how do you look at Kubernetes and storage? So I spent 20 years working on storage, but when I moved into Kubernetes, I was really looking for a cheat sheet somebody could walk me through to say, how should I approach storage? How should I look at, how do I translate A to B? So the talk focuses more around why does Kubernetes need storage? When do you need storage for admin clusters and also for workload clusters? Then we draw parallels between, when you look at architectural parallels between how does virtual machines approach storage versus containers approach storage? So Jing, do you want to talk about imperative versus declarative models?
Sure. So in traditional way of managing system, right, we have imperative APIs. So for example, if you want to create disk, right, you perform that task, if it fails, and you try again. Kubernetes now completely changing the way of managing with declarative API. So basically it means you just describe what the system state is, and the controller will automatically reconcile until it reaches this state. If anything goes wrong, it will trying to reconcile again until it reaches to this desired state. So done by automatically.
Perfect. So next we move on to comparing and drawing parallels between the operational states. So looking at day two operations about allocations of volumes, what are the different ways containers allow you or Kubernetes allows you to map those volumes? And some of the things we talk about is how do you look at dynamic provisioning versus static provisioning? So I'm going to talk about some details.
Yeah, sure. For static provisioning, we mean the system have to pre-allocate, partition the disk, and the user will use that. But dynamic provisioning will mean when user have a request, the storage will be created on demand. So it's done dynamically instead of pre-allocating.
And those models are really critical as you're deploying container workloads in cloud or on-prem, because those models really, day one and day two operations differ greatly on those models. And in the end, you really walk out with a quick cheat sheet of, I'm coming from a planet A, going to a planet B, and I'll still be living on both sides, but how do I do that translation between a terminology cheat sheet on what does A mean in containers and how do I translate to something that I'm already familiar with and I can live in a much better and translate those things across. So thank you for listening to our talk. Again, we have a booth at KubeCon. Please stop by and feel free to ask us any questions. We'll be right here. Again, welcome to KubeCon.
Yeah, welcome to our talk tomorrow too.